ready lettuce that was part of the challenge we needed to provide for that particular grower in Europe, where all the wrapper leaves are off the lettuce as it comes up. We also have a thinning machine that is robotic with a vision system that we've had out for about 4 years now, and it's working very, very well. My background is I have degrees in mechanical engineering, both a bachelor's and a master's degree, and we have a staff of 5 engineers and 40 fabricators and technicians in hydraulics and electrical. You name the gamut, we have it at Ramsay, Highlander, and we do everything in-house. We don't go outside, but we do network with companies. One of the companies we networked to bring the vision system and thinning system together was a local company called Maconachy. When we came up with the idea over 4 years ago in collaboration with a software company from New Zealand, they needed someone to get it, bring it to marketplace, and to prove it, test it, and get it working. And that's what we did. We found Foothill Packing, one of our valued customers, and together we got the system going and working. And it is commercialized right now. On our panel today, I want to introduce everybody. We have Jeremy Smith with RDO. Jeremy has been with RDO for about 1.5 years now. Prior to that, he was with John Deere, and he was a program manager. Kind of kept all us engineers working together and collaborating. It's his job. Next in the panel is Ben Costner, he's VP of Business Development with Blue River Technologies. He's been working closely with the growers to unlock the potential of precision lettuce thinning, and he's also been there for 2 years. Blue River Technologies serves the farmers with smart implements that recognize each individual plant, enabling the grower to achieve better thinning outcomes. Prior to joining Blue River, Ben worked with managers in large corporations to shape and improve operations as a management consultant. Ben earned his BS in mechanical engineering at the University of Illinois, and he has an MBA from Harvard Business School. Next over is Joe Seimas, and he is territory managing partner of Seimas Farms in California. Currently, he is the territory sales rep for Monosem. He'll be speaking about his company briefly. Any further ado, I'm going to turn the mic over to Jerry.
First off, I want to thank everyone and for those who put this together for the opportunity to speak. I represent RDO Equipment Company. We're the John Deere dealership here in the Salinas Valley. We also have a store in Watsonville. We have stores in the desert southwest, where a lot of our growers here in Salinas move equipment and farm in both valleys. That allows us to support our growers both here in Salinas and in the desert when they go down there in the winter months. Feeding off of this concept of tractor mechanization, the history of tractors as it goes on, we sell the equipment dealer for John Deere tractors, as well as we're a manufacturing partner for Topcon, and they make a variety of technologies that are applied to the equipment. History of tractor is basically an engine on wheels, and then they added a hydraulic pump, and that allowed us to do a whole lot of farming. A lot of things have changed as we've entered the digital age, and that's allowed us to apply these digital technologies to the tractor business. One of the major changes was the addition of GPS, and this technology was introduced around 1994 on John Deere tractors. And this allowed you to take a good driver and make him a great driver. With our system, we call it an RTK level accuracy. That allows us to get 1-inch or sub-inch accuracies on what we do. You see all the straight rows that we get in all our fields? This is done through using a GPS system. That allows that driver to set up lines in his field. All he has to do is hit a switch on the armrest, and that allows his machine to drive straight down the field. Like I said, making it almost a perfect accuracy. One of the latest technologies that's coming is the addition of cell phone technology or telematics. This allows us to communicate with our tractors remotely from a grower's office per se. This technology we call it JD Link or John Deere Link. like I said, it allows us to communicate through a cellular network. And one of the things that it allows us to do is connect into the sensors on the tractor. So we're able to get the engine hours, we're able to get utilization information. So a grower will be able to know what his operators are actually doing throughout the day. There's a lot of powerful information for an owner of a farm. It allows him to know, a lot of things you guessed at before. How efficient is my driver? How much idle time does he have? How much transport? Where is he driving? I don't know. It's just sort of the things you guessed at in the past. Is he actually using the full 335 horsepower that I bought in this tractor? Well, you don't know. This way with this telematics equipment, you're able to see that information logging in on your phone, on your tablet. You could be growing produce here in Salinas, and you could be on vacation in the Bahamas, and you could be checking on what's going on your farm, checking efficiency levels and fuel rates. This also allows us to remotely access the display that's in the tractor. So suppose a driver's having an issue with his GPS system, or maybe he's spraying and he's having some issue getting the right amount of liquid to come out of the sprayer at the right rate. It allows us to log in and remotely see his display and be able to make modifications by talking through that driver over the phone. It also allows us to remotely diagnose machines. When they have issues in the field, we can log into that machine remotely from anywhere in the world through an internet connection and a cellular connection to be able to look at the diagnostic trouble codes that popped up on that machine and see if there's a way we can get them running much quicker than having to send out a field technician to work on the machine. Another technology is mobile mapping. A driver goes out to spray a field, you just assume it's been sprayed. You can watch them, but how accurately was that sprayed? Some of the technologies that can be applied are rate controllers. It allows us to variable the rate throughout a field. If you want a certain section sprayed more than another, you can variable that rate and the machine can do it automatically. It also is able to map where it's sprayed or where you've applied any sort of fertilizer or herbicide or anything like that. And that allows you to bring that information that can be sent wirelessly from the machine to a John Deere supported website. You're able to log into that website and be able to see exactly what your operators have been doing. And one of the things that we're trying to do with RDO Equipment Company, supporting the John Deere technologies as well as our TopCon technologies, is to provide a total solution. So when a grower comes to us to purchase John Deere equipment, we're also able to provide them irrigation technologies through RDO Water, which was formerly WaterTech through an acquisition. We're able to offer them the GPS and telematics technology to go on that equipment to make them see efficiency levels that they haven't seen before. And we're able to, most importantly, support that technology. A lot of us forget that processes that you run through are actually technologies as well. So we've developed a system that we can support these advanced technologies because we all know that sometimes it's not easy to operate this stuff and right when you plug it in, it might not work. So we've developed systems and opportunities for our growers to come to us for support, that we can support them and make sure that this technology works for them.
Thank you, Jeremy. Next is Ben with Blue River Technologies, and I think you're going to do some very fascinating stuff today.
Hi there. I wanted to share a little bit about what Blue River sees as bringing some of the technology that John, I don't know if any of you were in here earlier to hear him talking about some of the latest technology that's going on in the world and bringing that to help growers take their expertise and bring it into the field to make every plant count. So the growers we work with, the motivation behind Blue River is that the growers we work with down here are some of the best growers in the world. They have the knowledge. If they go out into the field and look at an individual plant, they'll walk up and down a row, back the other. They know exactly what every plant that they see needs. They know how to care for that plant. They don't have the time, however, or the money to go out and do that for every plant in the field. They can't walk every row of every field. They can't look at every plant. But technology can start to enable that. We can use computers and cameras to actually identify every plant in the field, just like the farmer can, and know what that plant needs. So we see this technology as not only solving today's problems, like thinning or harvesting or those other things, but we see it paving the way to a future where the farmer can send this technology out to the field, and it cares for every single plant just as if the farmer was doing it. So our current technology is applied in the lettuce thinning application. We use computers and cameras, drive over the field at about 2 to 3 miles per hour, taking images of every plant in the field, identifying each plant very precisely, and knowing what that plant needs, which one should be thinned, which one shouldn't. And in the same pass, we thin out those plants with a dose of concentrated fertilizer. This allows the farmer to make decisions that they've always wanted to optimize their stand and get better yields. We're actively working on other applications of this technology, where as we identify every plant, we can grow this ability for the farmer to really care for every plant. With that, I'll give the rest of the questions.
Thank you, Ben. I've got a few. Where's the old guys up here? This is Joe. Seimas with Monosem.
Hi, my name is Joe Seimas with Monosem Incorporated. We're one of the largest planter manufacturers in the world. In Europe, we're number one. We're not there yet in the U.S., but we have offices in France and Edwardsville, Kansas, and we have some other regional reps. We build planters that can plant everything from a raw lettuce seed to a large line. We build approximately 14 different models. They're all GPS enabled, so you can plug them right into their John Deere system or Trimble and precision plant your plantings. So you can gauge it to your topography on your ground. So if you have light ground, you can put less seed. Better ground, put more seed. So if you map your field, you can put it right into your system. We've made a lot of changes in the last few years. It used to be you had a ground drive planter, you planted. We've added monitors, we've added GPS now. But now with the more intense farming, we want to put more seed lines per bed. Our newest planter, which will be out here in about 3-4 months, we put 42 lines on an 80-inch bed. And we can go down from there. We can put, I believe, 12 on a 40 and something like 30-something on a 60. So that's what the growers are asking for. With a lot of the new coatings, we've had to change some parameters in our planters so they can plant. So we basically build custom planters for what your needs are. We've got 3 or 4 new models coming out just this next year, in the next 12 months. So right now we're in the field in Kansas when the snow melts. So we can do some testing and then we'll have it in production hopefully by August. But it used to be when I started selling planters 20 years ago, it was a single or double row planter. Now we've got multiple lines on the bed, GPS, hydraulic fans. We even have a new system that, because of the coatings on the seed, it actually puts the exhaust on the ground. It's called a V-saver. In Europe, Europe and Canada, it is law, not in the U.S. yet.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions?
What does that mean putting the exhaust on the ground?
What's that?
What does that mean putting the exhaust on the ground?
What it does is the exhaust fan will put out the chemicals that are on the seeds. So we have it's like a muffler system that puts it on, that puts the chemical, whatever, onto the ground instead of into the air. They were claiming that was causing the problem with the beehive. At least that's what they say. So it's a $600 system you put on your planter, and actually we're the only ones that have it. It's our idea, and I believe it's our patent. I'm not sure, but I know we're the only ones that produce it.
Any other questions? I've got one. First, I thought John's talk today was very fascinating. There's a lot of technology that's coming. There's a lot of technology that he talked about that's already out there in the industry. And in mechanization, I think collaboration between companies with technologies could probably get the technology moving further and faster along. And the investment in the community would be a very important thing, as well as companies that have a certain expertise knowledge here and expertise knowledge here working together to get a lot of this done or get it faster. I do have a question I'll propose to the group here. What's the best way to incorporate this new technology out to our growers and their operations? Do you have a... Yeah. I'd open up on that there, Jeremy?
So the technology that we're offering, our GPS technologies are strictly related to tractors. And for the most part, if you look around, I think pretty much everyone's using a GPS technology on the tractors. In fact, so much so that if it's not working, they park that $200,000 on the side of that $200,000 tractor on the side of the road, don't use it. So GPS technology is fully integrated into basically our growers' practices here. Where a big opportunity is this telematics technology. What I was saying before, this allows the owner or the manager of the operation to be able to see what is actually in reality going on his field. And this technology can be applied to anything that can give it power. So it needs a 12-volt battery. And other than that, it can communicate through technology. The biggest increase that our growers have, that I think they have to see, is being able to increase their technological aptitude as far as using cell phone technologies and the internet. If there's any struggles there, making sure that they increase their knowledge on that, especially with a lot of, with everyone on the field, from the owner to the manager, to the operators, to the guys in the field. Everyone will start using this technology, so it's important to increase that technological aptitude.
Yeah, I think it's a good question. It's always a balance that we see our growers trying to walk. It's how soon do we adopt the latest and greatest technology that's expensive, potentially hard to use, but gives us good benefit, versus just keeping with the current practices, knowing that we get good results, and waiting until it's a little more farther along before really adopting it. And I think that's a really hard, and the growers we work with, that's a really hard thing for them to manage. And what we've seen work is helping growers take a small portion of the field, a small portion of their operation, and try to work this new technology in. So rather than, say, having to buy a very expensive, hard-to-use system, you can bring in the company and have them demonstrate its potential, demonstrate how you can interact with it. And we, even with our technology, run it as a per-acre service. So we collaborate very closely with the grower to understand exactly how they'd like to set the machine. And then we have expert operators that can go in and do all of the work for them. So it's a way for the grower to not have to spend a lot of money or time up front, but to still reap all the benefits of this technology that's can offer a lot of benefit, but it's also changing very quickly. And I think that's the final thing that I see that's difficult about this. Technology today is moving so quickly. Every 6 months, every 12 months, there's an entire new generation of things for everybody to try to understand. And that brings a lot of excitement and a lot of benefit, but you don't want to be stuck with the obsolete technology. When the new iPhone comes out, you're jealous of everybody that has it, and you don't want to be stuck with your obsolete one. I think that's the same with agricultural technology today going forward. And so working it in, potentially using it as a service, getting educated, rolling it in slowly over your operation, I think is really a path that at least we've seen successful in balancing that trade-off between the benefit but the cost and complexity.
Well, where I noticed it is in the San Joaquin Valley, where I do most of my business. But the biggest thing there right now is cost, because those guys are on water restrictions. They'll adopt it 5 years after everybody else. And if you look at us in California, we're adopting it 10 years after everybody in the Midwest. There's guys in the Midwest, they've been using GPS for years. Other than RTK, most of our guys in the valley don't use them on their combines, don't map their fields. It's like they're always holding on. But the guys in the Midwest seem to do it before we do.
That's a good point. I'd like to share with the group about the opportunities that are out there, especially for our young kids today that are looking into agriculture. This sciences is a huge area to go into, and agriculture is really begging to grasp these new sciences and technologies. I'm glad that you guys are here today. As an employer, as a manufacturer, we're looking for young minds to come into our businesses. And we're looking at new positions and growth in our businesses in the future. With that, we can keep the technology growing here in the Salinas Valley, and I think that's really, really important.